Yes, indeed. Welcome. Welcome, my listening audience all over the globe for another edition of We Love Rare Grooves. I'm your host, C. Mose, bringing you the music, the sounds, as we do every Monday night here on We Love Rare Grooves. I like to bring you the magic of the music and the music of the magic. Streaming live on the UBN Go Network, Channel 1. Also, we're on Facebook Live, Twitter, Periscope, and YouTube Live. So I'm very excited tonight, as we are every Monday night, to bring you the legends, as only we do here on We Love Rare Grooves. So tune in, give us a call, 323-524-2599. But as I say, every Monday night, I can't do this show without my great cast and crew. And we start off, as we do every Monday night, with the world-famous DJ Diva. What you say, my good man?
My brother. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you, man. How's things going, man?
Oh, man, I'm excited about, I guess. We got a rocker that been putting it down for years.
Yes.
I mean, sick on that guitar. So we got a little Hendrix in the background to set the mood right, to introduce our guitar virtuoso that we got. So let's get it in.
As only we do on We Love Rare Grooves. And we got the world-famous DJ Reg, man. We got some surprises tonight, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Some video surprises, and we're going to do a little history on some guitars tonight with our guests, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Right. Happy Monday, everyone. How's everybody doing? And we have someone very beautiful, Juan, plays guitar, and you guys are going to enjoy this.
Oh, really?
Right. We're going to enjoy this.
And then we
indeed.
Got the consultant in the house, Mr.
Robert.
Robert. You got to know your soul, baby.
Well, we got, our guest tonight got skills. There's a bunch of people who do things, but she got skills.
All right.
Multifaceted. And if you can come up with a tune, she can come up and accompany it. So I'm really, really excited about her tonight.
All right, that's what we do here on We Love Rare Grooves, and we can't get it together. The glue that keeps us all together is the beautiful and talented co-host, Miss Shantini Irene.
Hey, girl.
Hey. I'm going to get it one day, right? So, hey. What's up, baby doll?
Nothing much.
How's your weekend? Everything good?
It's good. Everything's been great.
Did you bring in my Apple iPhone 12?
Definitely. I don't know how I would possess an Apple iPhone 12 or how I would bring that to you.
13?
I'm not sure.
14?
I have no idea what you're talking
He's looking
about.
for 15 minutes by that
You know people in low places. Okay? you know that.
I know nothing about it.
You know how to get those. Just like you know how to get the numbers at church.
Yeah, I definitely don't attend a church that gives out numbers. Definitely not that either.
Hey, we're gonna have a good time tonight. I'm looking forward to this young lady that we have in the studio, because she's in the studio. She's here with us, and man, I got to see her a few years ago, and she just turned me out, man. She was playing with Stanley Clark. Yeah, she did.
I have to make sure, you know. With Clifton, you can't be too sure.
Check your story out. Check him out.
Right.
He lost it, turned out, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Just call me Oliver, right? Hey, we want to thank our sponsors tonight. Beverly Boys Production, the go-to guys for all your video production needs, and the Serving Spoon, an urban eatery. The Spoon in Inglewood. That's right.
Inglewood?
Only as they do the best Southern cuisine for breakfast this side of the Mississippi. And also Sweet Life, SoCal Sweet Life magazine. This month, their fall issue has just came out. It's called to activism this month with a young activist named Sadie Sellers. She is showing the social ripple effect. So please invite everyone to go to sweetlifesocal.com, where they can subscribe and receive the magazine or become on our email list. So you can follow it in all platforms on Sweet Life SoCal. So without further ado, tonight we are very, very excited to welcome in the Groove Studio a singer, a songwriter, a guitarist, model, actress, entrepreneur, and she also fuses rock and soul. Fender Rhodes Guitar recognizes her as one of the 10 top female guitarists in the world.
Nice.
Tonight, we will share our musical journey only with the one and only. Let's welcome the fabulous, talented, and beautiful Miss Malina Moye. Welcome to the Groove Studios, my dear.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, that was a heck of an intro. Thank you.
It's well deserved, dear.
Absolutely. You got skills.
Like I said, we met several years ago playing with Stanley Clark, Dexter Wanzel, Bob James, Lenny White.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? It was
my God.
extraordinary. Extraordinary. And Stanley challenged you. You know, he started challenging you. Remember that? He challenged you and you came back.
Right. I love Mr. Stanley Clark. He is he is something else. But we prevailed. We did it.
Yes,
but there was
you
some
did.
other stuff that was going on too.
Yes.
But at the end, but it was great. He's amazing. I was just excited to be up there and happy to be thought of.
You were amazing at the time. I went backstage and like, who are you? And I never forget the look he gave me, like, please, you don't know me.
Maybe that's why we got Stanley and Dexter
gonna
and not
learn.
her. We had to wait.
Right. That's
You
true.
gonna
That
learn.
is true.
I'm sorry.
So as we do here, we take our audience, your fans, our fans on a musical journey of our artists. And as we do every Monday night, we have the question, and lately, since it's been one lady to another, I let her ask the first question of the evening.
Did you come out of the womb strumming the guitar?
I love it. You know what? I grew up in a musical family. My mom and dad were in a band, and then my brothers and I fell into it just from playing with, growing up in a family band. That's how my family made a living, playing music. So I would say, my dad would say, this is what she was always going to do. So I'd say, I don't know about playing the guitar, but I always loved music.
So when did you start, or do you sing? If you sing, when did you start that? Which one came first?
Oh, well, you know what? I think it's because, again, watching my mom and my dad perform. My mom would always say that when I was like 2 or 3, I would always try to copy her. And then I remember right around maybe 8, my dad gave me a guitar, and he gave it to me like a right-handed person because I'm actually left-handed, and I didn't like it. And then I picked it up again, and then he left the room. And when he left the room, I took the guitar and I flipped it upside down. And then I started playing it that way. And then he was like, man, Malina, that's backwards. He said, don't nobody play like that. And he was like, except for Jimi Hendrix, but I don't think he's even playing upside down. And I was like, this just works. So I just kept playing that way. And then I think the joke of it is as I got older, my dad said, man, I'm sorry I never just got you a left-handed guitar because that way I could have a left-handed guitar and have it strung properly.
Right.
But as a left-handed player, I can take a right-handed guitar, flip it upside down, and play that, play it that way. And then of course Fender, which is just a great company, I was able to say, okay, this is what I think would really help me to soar, is if we had a left-handed body, put a right-handed headstock, restring the strings backwards, put in these particular pickups, and that's just from trial and error and figuring things out. And I said, I think this would actually work for me and possibly other players like me.
So
and the kicker is that right-handed people can play the guitar too, but yeah.
Right. So just so the audience knows, what are your parents' names? Who are your parents?
Oh, yeah. Well, my mother's name is Celestine Tack, and my father is
Dr. Funk.
That's right.
Wait,
I was like,
say his name. Say his name again, though.
My mom?
Your dad.
Oh, George Moye, also known as Dr. Funk. He's correct. So my dad actually right now plays with Mr. Bernard Allison. So, he does blues, funk, rock, soul. But growing up, my mom and dad, they had a band called The Techniques, and we're originally from Ohio. So people like
What part of Ohio?
What part of Ohio are you from?
Y'all didn't figure that out? No, Lorraine.
Oh my God!
You got a Cleveland, Ohio person.
No, I'm from Elyria.
Oh my God, that's down the street. So he knows. You know I'm talking about Lorraine,
Absolutely.
Little Lorraine, Ohio. So that's where I was born. So my family, like my mom and my dad, that was everything. So then from there, my dad worked at Ford plant, and they end up transferring him to Minnesota. And when he got to Minnesota, we of course went. And then from there, it just kind of, I think more of the music just really started to expand. But my mom and dad, they growing up in Ohio, people like the Parliament Funkadelics, like Babyface, people like that were always coming to our house because my mom and dad were already opening up for Prince, and you know, so we were always just around a lot of influential people. You know what I mean? So seeing my mom dance, I thought, oh, that's what I'm gonna do. Seeing her sing, I was trying to copy off of her. And then, you know, I guess just putting it together, and then slowly you just start to build and become Malina Moye.
Were you musically educated in school, or did most of your education come from your household?
Oh, the family. No, because I admire anybody that can go to school and learn music like that. I never went to school for music. I always say the education we got, which is so crazy, is like my dad would hear songs and start to break them down for us, and then say, hey, okay, this is funk. This is where this is coming from. You know, and I always say to people, when you hear funk music, you're not realizing that a lot of that is actually coming from Ohio and Detroit, and all that is coming, which is starting to go and come over to the West Coast, but it all originated right here. Yeah. And then the same thing with, you know, you start looking at rock, and we got Cleveland, which is obviously, you know, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, it's like I think just having an opportunity to grow up in such a wonderful palette of music. And then just having parents who would take time to just educate us on, here's a chord. This is what this chord consists of. This is what you do. I remember I would try to get up and sing and dance, and my dad would say, Malina, don't get up there to be pretty. You're a pretty girl, so go up there and take the mic like a man. Approach it like that. And always do the work from your heart and your soul. My mom would tell me, don't open your mouth to sing if you don't mean it. So she would do that, you know what I mean? So we grew up in that whole situation. And then I think for me, I just studying and watching people and trying to emulate what I would see. And then suddenly, I think as I got older and again, more with like guitar, a lot of folks again think that Jimi Hendrix was a lot of the stuff my dad played. My dad said, we never played any Jimi Hendrix. It was more like, you know, Carlos Santana. He would do like, you know, Prince. And a lot of the band members from my dad's band, they were rockers. You know what I mean? So I guess that once again, you start to put all this together, and I start to go, wow, no wonder, like the sound and the things that I'm attracted to, I'd never really thought about it. And then somebody really broke it down for me, and they were saying, you know, all the bass players that you are naming, they all go right back to Larry Graham. And I was like, really? And then they were telling, you know what I mean? So then I started going, wow. So, and then you start really going into looking at Larry Graham's situation, and then seeing how he comprises his music and the influences. And then I started to realize, what are the odds that years later, I would just be so in love with a certain sound that I end up hiring Mr. Graham's band to come on tour with me to help me to create the sound that I wanted. And then, you know, obviously in Minnesota, you're going to run across Prince, and then you're realizing Prince is influenced by Mr. Larry Graham, right? And then suddenly, like all my other guitar coaches and teachers, next thing you realize they're actually in Graham Central Station. And then I'm like, no shit. So then you start, you know what I mean? So with education, it was like, you hear a record, but then it became even like on the Experience Hendrix tour. I remember like listening to Eric Johnson, listening to different players, but then never in your wildest dreams do you actually think you're going to be on a tour with these people and they can 100% just explain to you, oh, I'm not playing that. This is what I'm actually playing. And like when Buddy Guy says, and you know, because I hear a lot of friends say, yeah, I learned this in Berkeley. And I said, and I feel you on that. But Buddy Guy himself personally showed it to me like this.
Right.
So my education, got very blessed for a lot of the people. I guess we had a chance to just ask questions and learn it from them. And then from there, just kind of make it your own.
So I think we got a new term. We're going to call it on the rock training.
Man,
There we go.
Got a question. So when your mom and dad were located in Lorraine, where were they playing? Were they playing in Cleveland? Where were they playing?
Well, let me see. Because we were so young with my mom. Because I remember because my dad was so excited when Bootsy and I got on the record together. Mm-hmm. He's like, man, Malina. He was saying like, and I don't remember these places because you know we just like we kids, and as we grow up, he said to us, and this may even be wrong. You ever heard of a place called Elks Farm?
Oh, in Lorraine, Ohio, absolutely.
We know about the
I saw the OJs out of the Elks Farm.
See, right? My dad, right? So that my mom and dad, and then they was like the techniques, and they was like, I remember when he would say, man, that band, those people, you know. what did he call him? Because I remember when Babyface would come by our house, and I was trying to make a sandwich or something. I just remember them always saying, you know, Malina. I guess they were like, she's not a cook. You might want to think about doing something else. But no, it's like Elks Farm. I'm trying to remember because my dad would always.
Leo's Casino.
Huh?
Did they play Leo's Casino in Cleveland?
I gotta ask, I'm sure he did. I mean, the name of their band was the Techniques, and then I don't know if you know, like the Moyes, Randy Moye, and Russell Moye, and my mom was Celestine. They called her Sister Mean, and then they would go off to Pennsylvania. I'm just trying to remember.
Right, at the Washington Elks,
and then
Spot Lounge, you know, making a chick. You heard of Spot Lounge?
I've heard it, like she said, like those names, all that. But I just remember him always saying, yeah, and then something about what is the guy's Tower Power, something. He said, told us a story. Yeah, they came in and nobody believed they were going to be at the school or somewhere performing. He said, but we ended up going there, and when we got there was like 3 people, but nobody would ever believe us, and we went there and we saw him, and he would always say how the band was just tight and just hearing everything. And then I remember my dad talking about when he opened for Larry Graham. I forget the name of the place. I should text him and ask him. I reached out to him. Farm. He just brought that up so much because when he found out I was on this record with Bootsy, he was just like, oh my God, Malina. He's like, because my dad's a bass player. So as a bass player, then you got Bootsy. He's like, man, Cleveland, just everything we always taught you. And like now, here it is. You know, it was just like,
that's great.
It's everything.
Okay. So, man, this is great stories. And we're going to come back in One Groove Second and One Groove Minute. Before that, we're going to get into a musical selection with some of your music, where it started at, and come back how you started your own record label, how it all came to fruition in the early years, and continue on and share some more of your music and some more stories and conversation. What's happening? Did I miss something? With you, because we don't have the video. Okay. No, we're gonna go with Alone. You have Alone.
Yeah, he got it.
He has it. Yeah, we're good to go. But one thing you forgot to tell me, Pretty Tony, about what happened today to the show, Malina. What happened today? We got nominated.
Constipated?
No, then we get.
He said you were constipated.
You got nominated for a podcast award.
Yes.
Yay.
For the best music podcast in the world.
Top
To
10.
discuss, right?
10.
Yep, the top 10.
Congratulations.
All because of you.
No, you're right. That's y'all. Congratulations.
Without the music, we don't have a show.
That's
Right.
We
Without
got to
all the
listen
artists.
to Clifton
They
all
sure
day,
ain't
so
watching
you know.
the yeah.
So we need the music, and we need people who can share the music like you've done.
So we'll be.
And I appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll
And we
be.
need platforms to share it on. So thank you.
Absolutely.
That's true.
So this segment is brought to you by Beverly Boys Production, the go-to guys for all your video production needs. And we're going to take this away from the beginning. Man, I done fell in love with this song, and it's, 12, 15 years old, man. This is my song right here, right now.
Yeah.
And this is showing the vocals, and we'll get back into your vocals when we come back here on We Love Rare Grooves. Give us a call at 323-524-2599, streaming live on ubngo.com, Channel 1, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, and Periscope. Pretty Tony, DJ Reg,
Let's do it.
take me away.
Alone, an hour is like a year.
Look, you got the video.
Every raindrop means a tear.
Dear lover, God, I miss you. I really do.
Alone, an hour is like a year.
But you know what? You ain't the guy for me.
Every raindrop means a tear.
And I ain't the girl for you.
You always say you love me. You always say you can. 'Cause you control a special part of me. A feeling that is rare. 'Cause I'm about to enter the race, and I know there's no way I could ever replace the rock my hand I could never erase. But now I got to let you go.
Alone, an hour is like a year.
take that time, heal. Yeah. And right now, you can't see the truth. So take a look at me and everything will work its way out just fine. That's why I had to write this letter to you. Cause I'm about to enter the race, and I know there's no way I could ever replace the rock my hand I could never erase. But now I got to let you go.
With love, Malina.
Come on, sis.
You should lose me. Oh yeah, you lose a good thing. Oh yeah, if you should lose me. Oh yeah, you lose a good thing. Oh honking my horn so I could get past. Oh, the baby's gone. Baby's gone. Baby's gone. Oh, yeah. My baby ain't been at home. My baby doesn't.
My name's Dave Patterson. I'm a Seattle area videographer. I've been working with Beverly Boy Productions for over 2 years, and I can say they are great to work with. They've always provided me with the information I need so that when I show up on set, I can shoot exactly what's necessary to tell the story the client is trying to tell. Call sheets that include the who, what, why, where, when of the video shoot, production notes, gear requirements, crew requirements, load-in time, all that. Makes my job a lot easier, and ultimately it produces the results that the client's going to be happy with. This is what a professional company like Beverly Boy Productions does, and also it's one of the reasons why I really enjoy working with them. It's a bit of a family vibe. They're very low-key, low pressure, but they're very professional at the same time, and they get the results, and that's ultimately what matters most. I'm proud to be a shooter for Beverly Boy Productions, and if you're looking for a company to produce your next video production, by all means, give them a call. They can handle any sort of scale project, from a single-person interview to a large production with multiple cameras and large crews. You won't be disappointed with the results. Give them a call.
Welcome back to the Groove Studios. We have the talented
Turn the mic on.
top female guitarist in the world, Miss
She cold with
Malina Moye.
Oh,
She
my
cold
goodness.
with
On
it.
the Groove Studios.
I spotted CJ Emmons singing background for you.
Oh, CJ, man, CJ's amazing.
I love
CJ, Tramika,
Yeah.
Ethan Farmer's on bass, Roland.
Oh, that was Ethan Farmer on bass.
Man.
That was
and then
Ethan,
Eric
okay.
Walls on guitar.
I know Eric very well, yes.
Regiment Horns. I mean, the band is killer.
Yeah,
Yep.
Eric, you can't
Yeah.
go wrong
Didn't y'all
with
have-
Eric.
Didn't y'all have Sonny from La Louisiana?
Shut up.
Sonny,
Oh
Sonny
my God.
should have been there.
Don't pay him no attention.
No. Let me tell you a little secret. You know what's so crazy is every time I watch that video, I love that Hustlers Blues song. But I got to tell you something. What's crazy is, here's a little secret. In that particular song, what is actually happening is that you see the guy coming out messing with my guitar.
Yes.
My tech did not look at the bottom of my pedal, and there's some connectors that go from like the wah to the actual distortion that you would use, and it was never connected up. So that's why in the beginning he was trying to figure out what the problem was, and by the grace of God, I was like, oh my God. So you heard some rips, but then it was all natural, but people never knew. And that's because he never connected up the wire, and he still didn't. But I ended up pressing another pedal, and then that's when it came on a little louder. But the kicker is it was like, basically a guitar player knows that there is no way your pedals will actually work if the connectors are not connected up.
Right.
Yeah.
It's impossible. And so we had one missing, and that's the sound that we got. So every time I see that, I always think of that. But a lot of people don't know that, but I know.
Would that be
But it was
remarkable?
cool,
Because
right?
I don't know anything about music.
No,
So
she
Well,
worked
you know
it out.
about modulation.
Yeah, I do know
Right, you had-
modulation.
That's all he knows. I don't think he actually knows what a modulation is, but he likes to use that word from time to time.
Well,
Man, I love it. Modulations are good.
no,
Yes.
but Stevie Wonder told her to modulate.
No.
it was the other way
All
around.
of a sudden now Stevie told me.
She told Stevie to modulate. I'm sorry. She told Stevie, could you modulate?
But
a
did he
little bit?
modulate?
Yeah, he
I
did.
bet he
Okay, I think he did.
No, he did.
So what happens? You're being involved with our internal jokes now, okay? So
see, that's it.
Yeah,
See,
these
that
are all
was
internal
the whole
jokes.
thing,
okay?
I bet he did do it.
Yeah. And then before the night comes on, you'll hear Big Red. That's going to be another one of those
Internal jokes.
internal
No,
jokes.
Big Red. I see.
He's like, y'all
I see
playing,
a
but I'm not playing.
I see a future for Malina and Big Red.
Now, I know you talked about your parents and the influences that you had with them growing up. Who were some of your influences that you didn't grow up with, but that you listened to and that they, were an influence on your playing and singing as an artist?
Man, I guess just because, again, our palette was always just so many different people. So I think for me, like growing up in Minnesota, obviously I'm going to say Prince.
Mm-hmm.
I think that just seeing, you know what it was? Seeing somebody like that just, Prince to me seems like he just exuded the freedom to just be who he was. And I think that is very attractive. And I think that's what a lot of people actually see and don't realize that that's what it is. Someone who actually gives you permission to be yourself.
Yeah.
And he does that in the clothes. He does that in the way he sings.
Yeah.
He does that in everything he does. That's what I think for me the attraction was. And then again, seeing like just the music and just the feeling and seeing how the guitar was always one with him. I think that to me, there's only one Prince.
Yeah.
And I was so fortunate, like just to go and hang out and to just like be in that environment for like 6-7 months every day, just watching him work. And I just, that kind of stuff would just soak in your mind. And I remember one of the things my dad said to me before we left Ohio is he said, yeah, we're going to go and you get a chance to meet Prince. But I don't think my dad actually really knew we were going to meet Prince. He was just saying it because I didn't want to go. And then finally you get to Minnesota and then like you never imagine that's what's going to happen. And someone ended up spotting us. And then next thing I know, I ended up coming out to Paisley Park. And then my mom and dad obviously had to come because, we were so young. And I got a chance to just hang out and I just learned and I was quiet and I watched. And then I would go home and I would try to actually, do what I saw. And then I would try to, and you know what I mean? When you're like that, you start to think that if somebody like him can actually believe in you, then, you know, maybe I might have a real shot at making something happen. So I think that that's something, obviously, you know, Janet Jackson, I mean, just to me, anybody who has
individuality,
the audacity and the bravery to be themselves, because it gives you permission to just be you. And then, I mean, even like on the rock side, because then, you know, growing up in Minnesota, you're still going to have all these huge, you know, rock groups. And I think that a lot of those things merged together really started to help me to shape my sound. I'm sure of it, because I remember like a lot of times, and then I started to realize why people in Minnesota musically are the way they are. And then of course, you know, we got Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. So all this stuff, you know, just, I mean, come on, it's Minnesota. So Minnesota's creating half of the palette of the music industry. And to be in that type of environment where all this is happening is just amazing. And then I remember like a lot of the players would say, yeah, with, you know, with our funk lines, we would do the lines, but because we wanted to play in clubs, but they wasn't really feeling the funk. So they would have to add some rock to it. So they were like, hey, let's start using the distortion pedals and running the guitar lines on top of the bass lines. Hence, that's how you start coming up with terms like funk rock. And then, you know, Prince putting those the keyboards and different things in, and suddenly we got the Minneapolis sound. And then I think that for me, I'm always just trying to take that palette and then create my own lane within that palette, because I'm always the person that just feels like, you know, you have to do what's natural and what's innate in you. So I think that, you know, all those pieces make sense, and the business side of it, they start to make you want to choose sides, because people always say, well, Malina, how would you describe your sound? Are you rock? Are you funk? Are you soul? What is it? And then I always say, let me ask you a question. Did you like it? And they say something, and I say, well, then that's it. If you liked it, then I've done my job. Then I think that write it how you feel that came across to you. Because if you notice what's happening now is a lot of more artists are finally coming and saying, hey, I don't want to be pigeonholed with just this, this, and this. And it's so funny. I was looking at my Alone video. Tell you a story about that. You know, first coming through, a lot of the labels, the big labels were saying, hey, you know what? You can sing, you can dance. Why don't you do that? I mean, you start playing these electric guitars, you know, in R&B, we don't even know what to do with it. It doesn't fit. You know, maybe if you did acoustic, but you playing, like, women don't play guitars like that. It doesn't work. So that's what really made me start my own record label, was because I knew that, you know, there's nobody like me, and I would have to come up with my own thing to create my own lane so other people can see it and then jump on board. And then, you know, when you are independent artist, but then you get major backing,
right?
You control a lot of what's going on. But this is pretty much what Prince was stating when he said, you know, you own your own masters, you own your own label. Of course, you get your own major problems, but I think that it's about putting, you know, your team together and putting together the vision, understanding what is possible. And for me, always trying to be better, reach up, get higher, ask questions, and also help along the fellow man. You know what I mean? Even when I look at her, I'm like, this is so amazing, because, you know, this is what we were doing, like you said, years ago. But I promise you, they were like, there's no way you can put guitars in this. In fact, when we did the song Alone, I mean, Are You the One? They made us take all the guitars out on that song to take it to radio. But what is funny is there's another version we took the guitars out and did that. And I was so blown away. It started to climb. I remember number 32 at UAC, which I was like, wow, it's amazing. Once again, you know, here it is 2016. They're still having trouble with putting guitars in radio.
But that's interesting.
Right?
That
And then
you say
now, here
that.
we are. And enough. And it's 2019, I put that record out. And I'm so blown away, because I think it's all in timing. And then suddenly, Jesus, you know, what happened, the murdering George Floyd and everything in Minneapolis, everything with the pandemic. And then suddenly, when I did that album, Bad As I Want to Be, I wrote that because somebody made me feel like I didn't matter and I didn't count. And it was probably because, again, just the whole decade of trying so hard to just break through. You know what I'm saying? And then as a woman, I vowed to never say who this magazine was, but it was a magazine that ended up putting a woman on the cover, and they had named like all these different women, but they weren't being fair, because I realized, oh my God, these people have like listed 2 Black people and they're dead. And I'm like, this is not fair at all. And I'm like, I wonder, do they realize that what they're actually doing is basing all this stuff off of a systemic situation that's happening? Because that's making me feel like you're trying to take away from all the stuff that we collectively have done. So that's when I started writing that song, Enough. And I wrote that song in like 15 minutes. And I just remember going, man, I wanted something to remind myself that I was somebody. And I never imagined in a million years that one song, we did the I Am Enough movement. And I remember I had told everybody to put a picture up and hashtag it I Am Enough. And I never forgot. I woke up the next day and Yolanda Adams had put up a video and she was talking about the song. Anita Baker had DM'd me. I saw Sean Stockton from Boyz II Men. Suddenly everybody was like putting posts up saying hashtag I'm enough. They're standing with Malina Moye. And I just thought, wow, I finally feel like I've been seen. And then, and that was, the song ended up that's the end credit in the film, The Samuel Project, which again, I had a chance to have a role in. And that was my first time having a song that was up for Oscar consideration to write a record.
Well, that's fascinating because, you're talking about the premise of our show is we highlight artists who are unknown or songs that are unknown. And so we always sit back and say, well, damn, I wonder why this person didn't make it or why they had such a good look. But a lot of times it's timing, like you said, and a lot of times it's the record label not knowing what to do with that artist. And Prince and Michael Jackson were revolutionary in allowing women to step out and have those aggressive guitar roles, which was considered more for the Guns N' Roses and the men of that section. And so, Beyonce is also pivotal in that too, giving women a platform to play that aggressive music. You can still be feminine and be ladylike and be aggressive in your music. So,
and that is my whole fight that I'm, and again, not to turn it into a whole other situation, but I mean, when you start to really look at things, this is, one of the things that I am absolutely addressing as a woman of color. I am constantly saying that there are certain sectors that we really need to look at. In fact, there are all the sectors should just be readdressed. I mean, why is it that we haven't had a Black woman on the cover of Guitar World magazine? You see what I'm saying? How comes I'm challenging a lot of these guitar makers to not only put people in ads, but also do signature lines of guitars with them, different things like this, because that's how you really know that you're making major changes. Right. And we all can really see what's going on. So, I mean, and I think that it's about just sticking with it. And like I said, and the funny thing, the Enough video, that's the video that got to MTV. Out of my entire career, that's I was like so blown away by that again. I was wow.
Hold on,
isn't that crazy?
MTV still on? And
MTV is on Pluto TV. Yeah,
is it? I haven't seen MTV. I ain't even thought about MTV. You think we can get our show on MTV? I'm just hey, Malina, this great music, great story. So we're going to come back. We're going to go into another musical selection. Give us a call, 323-524-2599 with Malina Moye. We're streaming on everything tonight, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Periscope. Get into your spiritual journey, talk about some more of the music, and we're going to share some more guitars, some more of that music.
Malina, you're having a good time. You don't have to get a restraining order out on Clifton. We can just forget about all that.
Might have to get that restraining order. No.
Yeah.
Why need to get it on me?
Yeah. Look, you already made a song. Enough. Enough.
Big Red.
Man, I'm working on my new album. If you only knew.
And when it comes out, where you gonna do the world premiere release? Where?
I would love it. That would be amazing.
Here on We Love Rare
Grooves.
Grooves.
I would love it. Yeah. Man, that would be beautiful. Thank you.
That was a Big Red situation.
You know I'm gonna hold you to it. You know how
that was a Big Red situation came up. See how he just turned everything around about what you gonna do.
Hey,
I love it.
Pretty
Is that from the 5 Heartbeats?
Yes. Hang on.
She's the only one who got it out of this whole time. Everyone's like, what?
Big Red,
right? Yeah, my dad. Are you kidding me? My dad always said, "Malina, I ran into Big Red." Like, yeah, he's fast, but yeah. It was on TV the other day. I love that movie. And then when I finally met Robert Towns, I was like, man, I love that movie. It wasn't like anybody come to see you, Otis. Are you kidding me?
See, man, you gonna be all right. But what's the other part when Leon was like? People can't sing. No,
I was too busy looking at Leon. I wouldn't have listened to what he was saying.
Oh, my personal favorite is, you guys, it's been fun working with you all 5, and I love you all so much. And It's Lonely at the Top, my new album.
No, I thought it, when y'all talking about replacing people. Hey, we can ready to go on to some new music so you come back and share. Well, you got that one a little late there, but you got it. Pretty Tony, DJ DeVoe, DJ Reg. We're going into segment 2 now. We're going to take me away with, is this a video of Are You the One?
Life's so much sweeter now that I found you, and I want you to know that I like this. So I hope that you're comfortable with me giving you the same love you give to me. So incredible, won't hold nothing back, baby. I will do you wrong. You fall off track, baby. I'ma help you get back on. I'm your girl, you're my guy. You came and changed my life, turned this caterpillar into a butterfly. Down the street, can hold my hand. So folks who wanna know can see I got a man. And if you don't understand what I'm trying to say, simply do it this way, hear me clearly. 'Cause there's something about the way you make me feel. Something about the way you make me feel. Yes, you will. Your love is real. Your love is real. All the time I want you more and more and more. You're all I want. You're all I'm waiting for. Boy, you're the one. We've been talking about proposal for a minute. We planned it. As long as your heart is in it, I know we can win it. Go ahead and do what you gotta do. Tell me the time and place, and I'll be there, all dressed up for you. Are you ready? Hurry up, let's go. 'Cause I'm waiting on you. You're the one that I've been waiting for. And if you don't understand what I'm trying to say, simply put this way, hear me clearly. 'Cause there's something about the way you make me feel. You make me feel, boy. 'Cause I can't help but wonder if your love is real. I can't help it, boy. All the time I want you more and more and more. You're all I've been waiting for. You're the one. Boy, I want you to love me. Hold me. I wanna feel your arms around me. Yeah. I want you. I want you. I want you. I want you. Something about the way. All the time I want you more and more and more. You're all I want. You're all I've been waiting for. Boy, you're the one. Love is strange. Lot of people take it for a game. Once you get it, you never wanna quit. No, no. After you've had it, you're in an awful fix. Plenty people don't understand. No, no. They think loving is money in the hand.
Rest of it, the plug.
I quit. I'm out. I don't need your job. I'm done. I quit. You know what? Forget it. I'm gonna do something. You watch.
Yeah.
Chaotic energy.
Yeah. Are y'all ready to fly? The weakest link will always cause the chain to break. So, check it out. I feel a storm coming on. Yeah, and it's coming from the west. Yeah. Play that thing. Hey, Malina. Just let your vocals hang.
I'm so chaotic. You are so neurotic.
Sometimes I feel like that, baby.
We got systematic. We got to pull us through. Hey, every time I move ahead, gravity is holding me. I'm just trying to live my life. Stay 2 steps ahead. My life's chaotic.
Yeah, pass me that distortion.
I just lost my job. It's your $50.
They just mugged the eagle, baby.
Landlord, he's banging at the door.
I'm the bill collector.
I want to be singing that la 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 la. If you feel my problems, turn this up. Every time I move ahead, gravity is holding me. I'm just trying to live my life. Stay 2 steps ahead. Chaotic, chaotic, chaotic.
Yeah. The bigger the headache, the bigger the feeling. Chaotic bobble. Let's pretend that I'm your night and day. Let's even say that I have a key to lock it all away. Malina, move it.
Every time I move ahead, much to me. As long as I have you by my side, that's all I need. Baby, I'm so caught up by you, it's unreal. I need to express myself and tell you how I feel. Don't need nothing. Oh boy, I don't need nothing. But your love, baby, give it all to me. I can't wait for the day when you will see. When you'll see, baby, only I need your love. That's what I need. I need your love. That's what I need. I need your love. That's what I need. I need your love. Baby, give it to me. My girls don't understand why I don't ask for more. But don't worry about it, he is mine, not yours. Money, cars, and ice ain't what my heart beats for. And to make it plain, his love is rain, so let it pour. Don't need nothing. Oh boy, I don't need nothing. But your love, baby, give it all to me. I can't wait for the day when you will see. When you'll see, baby, only I need your love. That's what I need. I need your
You really feel the energy when you come in here. The food is great. We pride ourselves on our service. We really stress that with our employees, that when you come here, that you're actually better for your coming. And if you give us 1% of your trust, we'll earn the other 99. And by the way, there ain't no better breakfast.
Serving Spoon, that's right. They're open right now. Not right now, but they're open from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Outdoor dining for them. You can also
you be
get
telling
catering.
people they open and
I
then
know.
people be trying to go up there.
They can do
Ain't
catering.
nothing going down
You can
tonight.
call in the DoorDash to pick up. They're located 1403 Centinela Avenue in Inglewood. That's right, theservingspoon.net.
And I highly recommend the smothered pork chops.
I recommend their grits. Amazing. Good, good.
Hey, man,
I got to call. Nah, I'm going to have to.
Hold on. Before you do that, ask, have you been to the Serving Spoon?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, never. I want to go try it.
So we're gonna
do a breakfast. Yeah, we
do breakfast. Have you come down to the city?
Let's do it. Okay.
Let's do it.
And bring your guitar and an amp.
Yeah, and an amp.
Okay.
And I'll say we will rock you. And then that'll be your cue.
Take your picture there. Sign it for my man JC. Great person sponsoring the show. So we are back here on We Love Red Grooves with the fabulous Malina Moye.
I'm going to have to call Sakina and tell her I'm jealous that she got that drum gig over me in your video. The artist Kiki.
So funny to hear you call her as a kid. I said, you know her for real.
Oh, I know her for real. And we're like one of the few. Her and I are like the few female drummers or women drummers that we know. So when I saw her, I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to text her. Be like, how the hell did you get that gig? But it was really good. I love that video.
So and Eric, I mean, come on.
Yeah, Eric is the best. Love him.
That's what I mean. Like, you can see, I just love people who, I mean, come on, Kiki is just Kiki. She's incredible. She's amazing. She's an incredible artist. She's a drummer. She is just going to go for it, and that's what it's about. And she is so talented and just nothing but love and just great things.
Now, I love the fashion choices. Who picks your fashion choices for your videos?
Myself. I guess being creative and seeing what works and what you like and what you don't. So to be honest, I was honestly like into the whole leopard type of situation, and I just remember what's so crazy is now I'm seeing like so many of the women, everybody's doing like the cat suits and the one leg, but Sheila E was like the first one to do that.
Yep.
Right. So I was like, man, it'd be like an homage to Sheila E. Because with the funkiness and everything, and then all of a sudden now it's like everybody's doing it. So I
but you got the body to do it, because we don't want everybody doing the little one leg with the ass hanging out. We don't really. We don't need that.
As Mike Epps said, you be walking around looking like a wrestler.
Now that's funny.
So obviously, as a great female guitar player, who should we know about as a female guitar player that we may not? I mean, who's kind of like
Malina Moye?
There's so incredible, like
Malina Moye.
Ari O'Neil, I think is great. Kat Dyson is great.
Oh, Jinju's great too. You know Jinju? You know Jinju? She's
Oh man, come on. Yeah.
She.
So if you're just going through the list, obviously, to me, I can give you like just the spectrum of all the women, black, white, purple, green, all of them. You got Nita Strauss.
I just know
of course,
Moye.
Orianthi. I think her is great.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Gabby Wilson. I think Ori O'Neil is great. Kat's like, oh my God, Kat is amazing. Kat is like, she's like
the
Kat
business,
is
right?
I mean, Ghetto Songbird.
Songbird. My.
Went to school with Clifton.
Right, that's all right. That's okay.
I mean, Laurie Basilio, she's amazing. So I mean, it's like so many.
I see. We wanted one. You gave us 10. Girl, you
right.
you
In
brought
my
them
mind,
all.
like there's so many amazing Mrs. Smith. I mean, just to me, so many incredible guitarists. And what I think is great is like each one of them brings something different, and I think that's what is important. And I mean, that's what I think is so cool about the instrument. If we all pick it up and play the E, ain't none of us gonna sound the same.
That's why we played some of the early ones tonight, like Barbara Lynn. We played Barbara Lynn.
I love that.
Did that take you back?
I never seen that second video. That was Bo Diddley's girl.
Right, right. And his girl, they called Lady Bo Diddley on there. Remember?
And I was like, man, I never seen that video. And that's what I mean. To me, is like it's so important that people understand the shoulders of people that we are standing on.
Thank you.
Because like I always say, when they say, oh, you're the first one to do this and this, I said, now, understand, being first is one thing, but real change is when everybody can get in and we all get in. But at the same time, how do we know that the ones that are before me, they may not have had these opportunities?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they didn't want to do it. So I'm always the one to say, man, just if I got lucky enough that maybe it fell on me for right now. So I'm just excited that we get a chance to do a highlight and to show it. But then you just hit me to so like I'd never seen that. Like that is so amazing. And so I'm all and Rosetta Tharpe.
Oh, don't steal our thunder. That's still we gonna steal our thunder. We gonna come back to her. We gonna come back. I'm so glad you know it all.
So Malina, what age were you when you decided music was you wanted to make a career out of music as opposed to doing something else?
Probably like 4.
4. Okay.
Straight up, I'm serious. Let me tell you, my whole life, I've always known this is what I wanted to do with my whole life. In fact, when I got to first grade, it was so funny. A friend of mine actually from Facebook sent me a note, and she said, "This is what you gave me in the first grade." And I was like, first of all, you kept this long, and then and then the second thing is, she said, I said, I'm going to be famous one day, so you want to keep my autograph? Trust me. And she said, I'm going to be like singing and playing guitar. And I was like, I said that to you? And she's like, and I kept it. And I said, that's the part that I'm a little concerned about. I know, but no, my whole life, I've always known this is what I wanted to do. I am doing everything I have always wanted to do. And I got to say this, I never imagined it quite like this. Like I said, how my thing is I came out to California with $20. I was homeless. I lived in the street. I lived off of 2 tacos and water a day. And like you come out here with dreams and fumes, you know what I'm saying? And then suddenly you go to years later to have a #1 record, and then people that you've admired your whole life know who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, it became like, So I for me, I like to think this is just the beginning. And now it seems that the sectors that we are speaking about are finally being addressed and looked at. And it's making me feel that this is just the beginning, and that now more women, and I should say Black women, we are being able to, well, I gotta be honest, I mean, like, at least we're getting more stuff with R&B and us having a chance to play guitars, but even on that rock side, I mean, that's just still a rough one. You know what I mean? Like, there aren't a lot of Black people in rock that they, you know, that we actually see.
We started it.
But don't you find that strange? Right, when we started it, that's so strange.
Come on.
And so, right, so you get what my whole situation. So that's why I'm saying, you know, it's, I also look at this and I say, even when I go to BET, I say, hey, you know, how come you guys don't have a category for our rock musicians who happen to be Black? In fact, that makes me feel excluded.
That's
which is why, you know,
that's how
or
we
even
found,
country music.
That's
right.
why we found her second daddy Murder.
He is not my second father. You are
Murder.
ridiculous. You're honestly
Black
ridiculous.
Murder. It's a rock band. From
Another inside joke.
Right. Black
So
Murder.
ridiculous.
But you feel me? But
Right,
I'm
we
saying,
feel
like,
you.
certain things, you know what I'm saying? When you look at it, you go, hey, that we got to also look at us too and re-educate ourselves. And like, I'm so happy that now people are starting to see more about Sister Rosetta Tharpe, you know?
That's right.
Because that's how you start to go, okay, so we really did originate this.
Right.
Yeah,
See,
we-
that definitely shows
yeah.
rock and roll.
And it's funny you mentioned that. I watched this documentary on, it was actually a Black punk group out of Detroit called Death.
Okay.
And they did it in the late 60s.
Well, that's right around time of Black Murder
Right,
too.
right.
Yeah, Black Murder came out that time too.
And it was funny because I guess somebody was supposed to be promoting the group and kept some 45s. Years later, one of them ended up in a shop that ended up selling for like $800. And that started the chain of finding out who this group was. They found the original recordings, and it was funny. One of the brothers who actually passed away said, "Keep the masters. One day we're going to be famous." And it ended up, So I mean, it was really cool to know that punk. We were doing punk before they even knew what it was.
Man, that's what I mean. Like that, I can't wait to check that out.
It's called Death. Three
DATH?
brothers out of Detroit actually punk before. They were so ahead of the game. They thought naming the group Death was just so far fetched that it wasn't going to work. But
let me tell you about God. What's so amazing is that just because, like, again, I go to something when He always tells you something is going to happen. The thing is, we never know when.
Yeah.
All we know is that what we have and what we do is our job is to continue to have the faith and move forward. And I really believe that when the time comes and when it's right, it's amazing how you get paid back of many folds that you never even imagined. And He can place you in places that you
never
can't
thought
even
you'd go. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everybody knows. And I say that to say, look at what happened March 15th with the pandemic, when everything stopped.
Absolutely.
So, you feel me? All over the world.
All over the world. You had to focus on something else.
Right.
You had to
So
focus on
that's why in
something
my
else.
mind, I'm like, when God says it's what it is what it is. It doesn't matter when it happens. And so for those people, they knew that that moment would come, and I'm sure that more people will discover them.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just how I see my life as well.
We got 2 questions for you. Then we're going to do Shantini in 60 seconds, and then we're going to go into our segment 3 of music selections tonight with Malina Moye. Give a call, 323-524-2599, streaming live on all our social media platforms. So the one question we have, songwriting. You are a great songwriter. What do you do? What type of mode do you be in as a songwriter? We've had different people tell us their styles. You know, some it has to be 5 in the morning. Other people, what's your songwriting kind of?
Oh, it just hits me whenever. I'm that person that will just drive down the street and then I'll just start singing in my phone.
Okay.
And little melodies will come up and I'll just save it, keep it, push it to the side, and keep it pushing. And then I'll come back and then like start to revisit. Like right now, we're like in the pre-production of writing the new album. So that's exactly what's happening. And so my thing is, I also I'm inspired every day by just everything. So I never close myself off, and I just like to. I love to write. I love people. I love feelings. And for me, I love whether it's my truth or somebody else's, it's got to be real for me. Even if it's like just a simple love song or something that's super pop, it still has to be real. It still has to come from a place of all being authentic.
Well, we hope you get that rare groove feeling.
Yeah, we
tonight.
hope we get
that rare
right.
grooves feeling tonight, and the song will be like
a rare groove moment.
Rare
groove moment.
I mean, I'm that person that it doesn't even matter. Like, yeah, I mean, like I can be at the hair salon. They'll be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Give me 5 seconds. Hold on." So I'm that person because I'm like, I hear something and I'm like, I don't want to lose this.
And tell us about your international appeal. I mean, playing internationally. I mean, you've played all over the world, watching your videos, doing highlights. Tell us that fame and appearing a world, how they appreciate you.
Man, you know what's so funny is again, because it's amazing how you never, 6 strings. You take the guitar and like overseas, first of all, they just love our music, period. They love us. So I think for me, just to go over there, whether it's like India or Japan or London, like any of those places, France, it was, again, I just feel like it's important to represent us in such a way that when the next person comes in, it's a lot easier for them. But I have been very fortunate, and I mean, it's unbelievable. These people will find pictures and things that I didn't even know existed. They are, like hardcore. It's amazing.
Real fans. Fanatics.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm like, where did you get this? How did you know about that? Where's this picture? I'm like, can I get a copy of that? So I mean, so it's wonderful. And then like I said, I think for me, I still go back to the moment of, doing my European tour, and then having the chance to, get in a private plane and be in 4 different countries in 24 hours, and coming back and then playing on top of Lord March's castle to honor the Queen of England, and then having like just the whole setup was just like Downtown Abbey. Like just seeing how all that was, and just realizing that all this is because of 6 strings.
Wow.
And how these people, you know what I'm saying? And then I said, man, I never would have dreamed that. And then just, how you just, like anybody, just practicing and playing and starting just as a kid in your bedroom, in the living room, always just jamming. And then who'd have thought that years and years and years and years and years and years later that you would end up in these places. So for me, it's just been incredible. And then like to meet, Mr. Anand Mahindra, he brought us over to India. And this guy, I had no idea who he really was until I actually realized he's like, woo, he's like, I think maybe the 2nd or 3rd most focused man in India.
Right.
And to all the things that he's done for his country. And then that he was like so versed on me, and I was like, you know who I am. So I always get confused and go, hi, I'm Malina Moye. And they're like, I know who you are. So sometimes for me, it's like, or people are like, just even here in the neighborhood, if I'm out walking and the people will tell me, yeah, so I saw what you wore to the Grammys. And I was like, you did? Where'd you see that? And then I was, just sometimes
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm like, how you know all this information? And one guy was like, yeah, I seen that guitar. I was like, you did? And then I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
Right.
So we're going to do something, have a little fun here. We're going to do Shantini in 60 seconds, and then we're going to go into a little bit more music, and then we will do our Dusty of the Week, and then we're going to share Enough. So we're getting down.
I'm going to ask you a series of random questions. You have to answer them in 60 seconds or less. Do not let Clifton distract you.
Clifton, stop. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
First job.
Burger King.
Your favorite song to perform?
A Little Rough.
Name a lover gave you.
That's what she
said. A name that a lover has given you.
Like Sweetie.
That's what she said.
Oh.
Bootylicious.
Momo.
Oh, okay. Greatest piece of advice.
Oh, don't take no from anybody that. From nobody.
Yes.
Take no from anybody.
If you could record or produce an album for a celebrity that is deceased, who would that be?
Man, Prince and Jimi Hendrix. Michael too.
If you hadn't made a career in music, what would you have done instead?
I would have been a neurosurgeon.
Oh, wow. Okay. If you could live again as an animal, which one would it be?
I'm a cat, girl.
Which superpower would you want? Invisibility, flying, reading minds?
Oh, I'm reading minds.
Dream artist to work with today that is alive?
Bruno Mars.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was good. See?
Lizzo.
See, that wasn't so bad. What was it?
72
Momo,
seconds.
she said?
Yeah,
Momo?
she said Momo.
And I think we get a lot of Bruno Mars.
Yeah. Well, because he's more with the era that we focus on. His style is more. Yeah.
But not only since I like Bruno Mars, because Bruno Mars also, once again, I just lean towards artists who seem to be authentic and real, and
but he actually performs. That makes a difference. Yeah,
and and I feel it. And I'm like, man, I like that, and I like Lizzo too.
Yeah,
you do. All right, we can write on some more.
I like Drake too, and then that makes sense, being that Drake's uncle is Larry Graham.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Then you got to start going. I'm seeing it. Okay. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go on to
Kendrick
a little
Lamar.
bit. Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
She like.
I know, right?
Oh, Green Day too.
She's
Green
60
Day.
seconds in overtime. Oh,
Right.
Green Day used to be the shit back in the night, honey.
Would that be bomb?
Green Day used to be the.
I ain't never heard you cuss before.
Oh,
Green Day
good. Well, there's
made
a
you
first
cuss?
time for everything.
Hey.
I'm hanging out with you people. What do you expect?
Potty mouth.
Someone's got to rub off.
But you can cuss on this show because we already got nominated for our award.
Oh my God.
Okay, here we go. Filth, Flarn, Filth.
I said, now you got me. I was like, oh.
Eddie Murphy did a joke about Bill Cosby,
Right.
saying he shouldn't.
Remember,
That's right.
Richard Pryor said, "Tell Bill I said have a Coke in his mouth and shut the fuck up."
As we do,
That was my movie. That was my show.
We love Rare Grooves on ubngo.com, channel 1, streaming on all our social media platforms. Call us at 323-524-2599. We're having such a great time with the wonderful and talented Miss Malina Moye. Let's go on to some more music. Check this out, Malina. Check out what we get ready to get into right now. You ready?
Yep. 2011. Malina Moye.
You know
Sometimes I rhyme slow, sometimes I rhyme quick. Sometimes I rhyme slow, sometimes I rhyme quick. Sometimes I rhyme slower, sometimes I rhyme quick. I'm sweeter and thicker than a Chico stick. Here's an ice cream cone, honey, take a lick. I'll go to Bay Plaza and catch a flick. Want my Timberland boots so I can stomp ticks. Scandalous, get a whiff for this miss. Just left the yard, boy, now I'm blessed. I feel good, per se, good state of mind. Drive a red Sterling and the seats recline. I love it when a late tea treats me kind. Go to tavern on the green and have a glass of wine. He say, she say, I heard it through the grapevine. No static, got an automatic. Too much of anything makes you an addict. Teasing, skeezing, also pleasing. Don't ask why, I got my own reason. Smooth beat, red, nice, slick, nick, click. Sometimes I rhyme slow, sometimes I rhyme quick. Sometimes I'm gonna run it down. Tell them anything you want.
My broom, honey, I used to love it. Oh, I used to love to ride the range with your baby. I ain't nothing but a hey, nothing but a hey. I said you said I was an evil witch.
Welcome back to We Love Rare Grooves with the sensational, fabulous Miss Malina Moye. Thank you so much for being in the Groove Studio with us tonight.
Yeah.
I hope you're enjoying our
Twitter
show.
and Facebook are blowing up. Wendy says, what did she say? She said, how refreshing to catch a woman dominating and inspiring with the guitar, rocking blues, shredding stereotypes. All right.
Did you?
Thank you, Wendy.
I've been waiting so long for you to come on the show so I can play Cosmic Slop by the Funkadelic.
What is that?
He was having a moment. He was having flashbacks.
You weren't familiar with the Funkadelic, that Cosmic Slop?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was talking about something else.
No.
You know what? I didn't catch that.
No, I'm just saying Cosmic Slop.
I thought it was a game we're about to play.
No, right. That could be too. Don't sleep me. That's true. But no, I was waiting because I cleaned a lot of seeds off of that album.
And we thought we were going to make it through the show, but without you saying that.
I don't think I said it in 2020.
Oh, you definitely have.
You know what Joe Clark said? Boy, you want to kill yourself? Go on ahead. Jump. Jump.
So give us some thoughts on some of the songs you just heard.
Wait, say it again?
Give us some thoughts on, the songs you just heard in the
Cosmic
last
Slop,
segment.
Tracy Chapman,
Foxy Lady,
Betty Davis.
Yeah.
Once again, all pioneers, all same thing. The genre fusion of funk, rock, soul, all of those artists have the same common denominator, which is freedom of expression. Freedom of expression in music, in style, in clothes, coloring outside the lines in every way possible, and being bold, not really given how people see or perceive it, but just being themselves. And I think that when you do that, that gives other people permission to be unapologetic too. Hence, you go to Betty Davis. Even when I think about Tracy Chapman, when you were playing the record, all that. I mean, the reason that those songs resonated is because, again, those people were all being themselves. Whether that was being funk rock in your face, or whether it was being stripped down with the acoustic and the guitar, whether that was the rap telling you what was going on and how they were feeling, it was all still real. And I think that that's what every one of those pieces signifies to me. And I think that that's why they still have and will always have presence today.
Yeah, relevance.
And
right.
also, you would be an actress and a model. You know, you doing it all, right? So, what was the? You were in a project, and it just slipped my mind when you were an actress. What was the? I just heard it on the other interview.
Oh, the movie?
Yes.
A couple of them, but the one that we were talking about with the Song Enough was a movie called The Samuel Project, which you can currently right now on Amazon Prime. And then we got some other ones coming up that are pretty cool. Hope to start shooting here pretty soon, but we can't say too much just yet. But when March comes back around and we come in, I can't wait to share with you about that.
Okay.
I
look forward to that.
But there should be some good stuff, really good.
And one of the things what would you tell a young artist today coming into embarking on a musical career?
I would say, long gone are the budgets of people spending millions of dollars. I would say what's most important is to look at this as an actual business. Think about it if you were to open up a hair salon or if you were looking at doing a baking shop. You want to make sure that whatever it is that you are selling is real and authentic to you, because you're going to be stuck with this and doing this for a while, probably for forever. And it may not be money in the beginning, but you have to do it because you love it. And I can guarantee you that we are now in the age of discovery, and many, 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 many people are going to discover you. That's the beauty of where we are right now. And I would say, when you don't see yourself represented, show up. When you think you can't, show up, and always know you matter and you count. And don't let anybody tell you anything any different. And don't let anybody take you away from what you want to do, because if they're doing that to you, that is all the reflection of what's happening in their life. And the hardest thing to do is to stay focused and to just, no matter what, know your end game. Do not get sidetracked or sidestepped from anybody. You got to say, okay, this is how I'm seeing my vision, and hold on to that. And no matter what anybody says to you, you got to make that happen.
I got that. And
that's it. That's what I would do.
Now, did you do any work for the Obama administration? You are fantastic.
Right, we gotta bring you to talk to the kids.
Politician, yeah.
Talk to the kids.
To the babies, to the babies.
Because Trick love the kids. And so we'll talk offline about that, talking to the kids, though.
Now, what are you up to in 2020? What does 2020 look like for you?
I love that. You mean these last 60 days?
Yes. Well, we're getting a little bit more freedom. We on parole now. We out of prison. We on parole.
First, it was like, be in the house at 4 o'clock.
Right.
Everything. I mean, honestly, I've been writing, and what I'm excited about is we are in pre-production. So the goal is some photo shoots as well as for the album cover and some upcoming things. I have my own line of strings that'll be coming out in January, so we have to do a lot of press and things coming up for that. And then, of course, like I said, in the next 2 weeks, I'll start shooting a movie. So that'll be great. And then, of course, to record the record. So I'm hoping that early December we can do that. And then we're looking at possibly a May release for 2021. I'm hearing that there won't be a lot of touring, only because there is no vaccine. And you know how it is when you put all this stuff together, and what people don't realize is a lot of them dates could be 6 months to 8 months in advance. And like right now, a lot of these venues, they're just not booking anybody.
Right.
So you know what I mean? So the truth is you do it. Yeah. So it's going to be more like definitely doing streams, definitely stay in contact with everybody, and I think it's great. My thing is, we creatives, that's what we do. So we just come up with ways so that we can always stay connected and keep ourselves out there, and more importantly, have fun, because that's at the end of the day, you realize that honestly, I mean, none of us is promised tomorrow. So my thing is, if you lived here right now and they told you only had like 6 Sundays left in your life.
6 Sundays.
6 Sundays. What would I do?
We don't even want to know. We don't even want to. We're not really asking you.
You gotta just go, man. Let's put down and do everything it is that we wish to do. So that's kind of how I look at my life.
Holly Berry, I got 4 weeks to live.
Man, right? It's kind of like, man.
He said he gonna go find Hallie and tell him she got 4 weeks and hope that she's charitable.
Hey, tell us before. Hey, listen, you got an intriguing story for our listening audience that they would love to know about you. Like tales from the tour bus. One of those.
Oh, I love that. What's the? I mean, I'm like, what?
Like when you was over in Europe and somebody stepped on somebody.
Or just a crazy story. We had one artist tell us about the story where that was Bonnie Pointer. She said that James Brown went after Bill Withers with a knife on a plane as they were flying to go see the Rumble in the Jungle.
Right.
Over Nichelle Nichols, right?
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Tales from the tour bus. You could think about it. We got one last segment.
You trying to get me in trouble? See,
That's true. That's true.
What happens on tour stays on tour. They don't get that.
Look, I don't recall. Isn't that what they say? I don't know what you're talking
Say
about.
no names to protect the innocent.
Right. That's why I was like, man, no. I'm like, honestly,
Well, we coming back to you, so we're going to go into it.
Okay.
Come back. So we're getting ready to go into the Dusty of the Week. Am I right, gang? The
Yes.
Dusty of the Week. Ooh, did I cough? He got real cough.
And what is it?
He got
What is a Dusty? If our listening audience does not know what a Dusty is,
What is it, Devo?
it's when you go into the garage and you grab your parents' records.
Or the basement if you're from
Or the
Midwest.
basement, right? And then you pull out a record and it's dusty as hell and you got to blow it off. And then you put...
Tony.
And then you put it on, you hear a lot of crackling, and then you listen to the Dusty, and that's what we call our Dusty of the Week. An old record that's been sitting for a while, and you just pull it out and put it on the record player.
Thank you for that, Tony. I appreciate it. So, and Dusty of the Week is also brought to you by our...
And you
Sweet
mentioned
Life.
this woman before. We've been on her for a while.
Mm-hmm. Sweet Life. Sweet Life SoCal magazine. It features colorful stories, colorful people, and colorful places. I think this is the magazine they put us in, too.
Yes.
As a concierge magazine for socially and culturally engaged Southern Californians, we serve to inspire, inform, foster, innovative, with insightful features on dynamic people, places, and programs coming soon. Resources, listings, and exciting contest events and activities. Follow them on Sweet Life Social, Sweet Life SoCal, and their website is sweetlifesocal.com.
Right. I'm going to make sure you get in the spring issue because it'll be about women.
That's
Guitars,
big red working.
That Big Red always working. So
His hours are from 9 to 5.
There you right.
So,
that's right.
are we doing audio or video for sister? Video. We can do video for your girl. I told you gave it away earlier.
Yeah, you talked about her earlier, so
Rose-
she's our Dusty of the Week.
This
Sister
is from 1964.
Rosetta Tharpe.
All the sweethearts see. Oh, this is the wonderful time of my life. Oh, let me tell you something. Uncle Joe, it's raining and the people are so fine to stay around. And how great it is. Oh, it makes me feel happy. Oh, yeah. Just to know we can stand in the rain and sing. And the people are so sweet to stay here. And I come in on let me tell you what I come in on. Oh, yeah. Get the key. Didn't it rain, children? Rain, oh yes. Didn't it? Yes, didn't it? You know it.
When I was young, I thought the world owed me everything. Boy, so much has changed. It seems to me I can't be what I need to be. The scars too deep. Oh. You control my every mood. Well, now the joke's on you. 'Cause I found my power brew. And nothing that you say to me will make me let you shackle me. Oh. We all can be the change we need. Bad as I wanna be, fight for your sanity. Because I'm enough, you're hold the cards for me to conquer my possibilities. Be the change to see. It seems to me I can be what I need to be. The scars too deep. Oh. You only get one life, one story. What you do in between will be your glory. Oh. And nothing that you say to me will make me let you shackle me. Oh. We all can be the change we need. Bad as I wanna be, fight for your sanity. Because I'm enough, you're enough, he's enough, she's enough.
Welcome back to the Groove Studios.
Hey now.
Malina Moye.
Enough.
Enough. What a beautiful video. What was the
You can be the
inspiration behind
change
that?
you want to be.
Amen.
Yes, we are here in the Groove Studios, and we are so pleased that you came and joined us tonight. I hope we did good by you.
Are you kidding me? I hope I did good by you guys.
Nah,
I'm
you
so-
good.
No,
Yeah.
you good, Darby.
You started off good.
Right.
We trying to earn good.
Also, we want to give a shout out to Miss Colleen. She's one of our #1 fans on We Love Rare Grooves.
What's up, Colleen?
And Colleen is moving
Oh,
to,
Colleen.
where's she moving, to Florida?
She
No,
moving.
don't tell. She's just moving.
She's moving to Florida.
She's moving to Florida,
Yeah, she's moving to
out of
Florida.
California.
Of course, she'll just have to pick up the show at 11 p.m.
Right. So she'll have to stay up till about 3 in the morning.
Wait a minute,
doing
Colleen. We didn't discuss this. Where
Yeah.
Is that what was going on?
Right.
Is that what was going
Yeah,
on?
she right.
Absolutely.
There they go, making decisions without checking in.
Absolutely. And
Exactly.
she knows that. She knows how we feel, okay? But
So-
What's up with that?
But I would say she's leaving.
That midnight train to Florida.
Leaving on that midnight plane.
I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and do y'all
Make sure
thing.
you bring your
Okay,
mask.
We missing,
Bring
it.
your
We
mask,
missing
right.
something. Bring your mask, because Florida don't care about you bringing the
No,
mask.
they don't.
so.
They don't care about
Yeah,
nothing.
they want them to say they don't care. They say, what COVID? What they
Hey.
doing about none of that?
Open the stores.
Before we close out, I want you to talk about your nonprofit real quick. 30 seconds. Don't you have a nonprofit or something?
Yes,
good?
we do. Drive Hope. Drive Hope, what we do is we do our Hope Chats, and we like to bring in different individuals from just everywhere so that people can understand the who, what, when, where, why, and how. Why? Simply because everybody isn't going to be Beyonce, but there are many jobs in Beyonce's organization that everybody can do. There's something that could fit everyone. So with our nonprofit, we want people to understand to basically go to underserved sections and departments and places and hopefully inspire them to realize what is possible. And we always say, find the great in you. And the foundation's called drivehope.org. So if you get a chance,
You said
check us out.
Drive Hope.
Drive. Yeah.
Drive like
Hold
drive
on.
a car
Drive
or
a car?
drive?
Drive a car. Okay. Okay.
Drive a
I
hope.
thought you said dry. I was saying, ooh.
No, I said drive. Like a drive.
Drive.
I was like, wow,
Okay,
okay.
gotcha.
And how do our audience? How do our audience stay in contact with Malina Moye? All your
Social media handles.
Yep. So all my handles is exactly like my name, Malina Moye. That's MALINA MOYE. Please definitely drop me a line, say hello, and I would say this: be safe. And yeah, I love meeting new people and take care of each other. And I hope to see you guys when we're able to get back together again.
When we can go outside again when we get off punishment.
Right. We wanted you.
Right.
We wanted
when
you.
we
In,
get off punishment.
we wanted you in the studio.
I can't. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah, right.
So, from the team here, Pretty Tony, DJ DeVoe, DJ Reg, Robert A. the Consultant, Shantani, and myself, we want to present you the We Love Rare Groove Award that is sitting somewhere else waiting for you.
It's in the office.
It's in her office.
Yes.
Hopefully
Yeah.
she's not using it as paperweight and she puts
Right.
it on the show.
Oh, she already used it? Oh,
She might be using it as paperweight. I don't know. She's like,
It
I
did
know
not
these
really work.
people.
You know what? I'm gonna open it and then I'm gonna tag y'all in tomorrow.
Yes.
do.
Please.
Take a
Please
picture
do.
with it and
Yeah,
post
take a picture so
so we
we
can
can
post
post
that. Yes.
Because we don't have it in our.
Oh,
We
very
need
much. Are
since
you
you're not.
kidding me? I will absolutely do it tomorrow.
Because we don't have you in studio to take a picture to put it in our catalog, so it'd be very important that you would do that.
100%
for us.
it's done.
As we say,
No,
on we
thank you.
So on We
I
Love
may be making fun of me, but I appreciate it.
No, not you.
No, not
Never you. No, no.
Only
no,
him.
No.
Just
Right,
Only
I
this
did.
knucklehead.
Right.
Yeah.
Because somebody said you had bunions, but
No, they did not.
Hey.
That was Big Red. He did that. Again.
Big Red said that. Everybody quiet.
Wait, he looked like he was really having some sort of a psychiatric break right now. Like
That was
I'm
a
waiting for
Tubin
the
moment.
other person.
That was a Tubin moment.
I was waiting for the schizophrenic.
Pretty Tony, I sent you the image that we are nominated for a Discover Award for
Yes.
our podcast for Best Music Podcast for 2020.
So go vote, people. We're about to blast.
Right, we're going to
vote.
sing the link out on all our social
Right, I
media
need the banner.
platforms. And please vote for us because team works hard. We work very hard. I couldn't do this. We all couldn't do this without each other. And we want to bring the music and the magic to the audience and capture. I mean, this is the platform now to capture it in, right here, doing it here on internet radio.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Podcast. Yes. So, as we do, you can see us on all of our social
media handles. We Groove Entertainment on Instagram, Facebook. We Love Rare Grooves. We are on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube Live. All of our shows replays in their entirety are on our YouTube channel, and the audio versions are on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, and Spotify.
And we want to thank our sponsors, Beverly Boy Production, the go-to guys for all your video production needs, and also the Serving Spoon.
The Spoon.
The Spoon, the finest breakfast cuisine this side of the Mississippi, an urban eatery. And also Sweet Life SoCal magazine with Sarah Harris, the new, did you put that up, the fall audition? Thank you so much for doing that for me.
Thank you.
That.
Thank you.
So, as we do every Monday night, we bring you the legends, and we had a legend in the house tonight, even if she might not feel she's a legend, but you're a legend when you're on We Love Rare Grooves.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
So
I appreciate you guys seriously for letting me come on, and thank you for being patient, and just thank you for creating your platform for us to share our music. And that's everything.
So we're honored to have you. Please stay tight for 1 second as we get ready to close out the show.
Stay tight.
Hold on. That's an old. Stay tight.
Stay tight.
Get it tight, get it right.
Oh, okay. I like that
Stay-
one better.
Yeah.
Stay tight.
Not stay tight.
That's an old time. Right? Y'all killing me.
Thank you
man.
so much,
Hey,
Malina.
don't go nowhere. Does that sound better? Don't go nowhere.
Exactly.
As we do here.
We
Love Rare Grooves.
Good night, everybody.
Man, she's a bad guitarist. Listen to that right there. That's enough for me, boy. I'm telling you. Pretty Tony, you the man. Thank you so much. Let us go overtime.